Hello? And welcome to season 3 of Lolcow Pod. I can't believe it's been 3 seasons for Lolcow Pod. Wow. 3 seasons for Lolcow Pod. Wow. Mm, let me see. Let me see. Your mama, the father yesterday. And in the paid taken on. So this is what happened yesterday. So let's get into this.
Keem put an audio in announcements that tells everybody in perfect detail exactly what Yo Mama did so that they can get a full scope of why Pitt isn't live and why we're going early.
Can we let me see if I can forward it.
I'll forward it for you.
Forward it in the side chat. We're hearing announcements. And there we have it. Yo Mama is fired, Keemstar says at 5:05 p.m. That is
It's in the side chat for you.
literally 5 minutes.
Yeah, the stream lasted 4 minutes before it got taken down. We actually have a censored version of the stream that takes out the person that isn't supposed to be there. If we do want to play it, but I don't know, kind of up to you, but we do have the audio.
We'll just play the audio.
Yo Mama pitched me a show about having like LCU detractors on his show to like talk shit about the LCU and whatnot.
Yeah.
And the guy that he wanted up there was Lebrowski. I told him absolutely not. You know, I pitched a much better show for the primetime spot with Glammy and Yo Mama. And the show I pitched was a massive success. All right. The idea that Yo Mama had, I told him no. Again, I shot that down. And today I thought it was a little strange that Pitt did not submit what their show was going to be. And now we know why, because he tried to sneak Lebrowski on here and a detractor on here and all this other shit. Something that I told him not to do and not to be involved in. You know, I feel like I'm one of the few people that have given Yo Mama a chance. You know, this community has completely shit on him. The communities come from has shit on him. Like everybody has shit on him. And I'm here giving him an employee of the month, gassing him up. When he was on test, I was calling in every day. I feel like I've been as supportive as I possibly can to Yo Mama. All right. But I guess that's not enough. I guess it's still like, I got to figure out a way to fucking piss off Keemstar. Well, Yo Mama and Lebrowski, because I know you're going to see this or hear this, it's not Lebrowski himself that pissed me off.
Wow.
It's the fact that Yo Mama did the exact opposite of what I told you to do. We've been working long enough together that there should be some level of respect. Now, I understand the shit that happened last night may have triggered you, Yo Mama, with not getting the redirect to pull this little stunt. All right. But I told you I owed you and I would make it right. I guess you didn't trust in that. Even though you didn't have the redirect, you still outperformed Rewind on the views. And I gave you that flowers for that. I gave you the flowers for that, right? Still not enough. Let's just burn it all fucking down. Keemstar told me not to do this one thing, so I must do the thing. That's really what's it about. I know Lebrowski is going to take this as, a big W. He's trolled the big Keemstar. The only one that got trolled is Yo Mama, and he trolled himself.
Yo Mama,
because now he's fired.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the comment that he could see why Yo Mama might have done this to get back at him for him being not getting the redirect last night. It is what it is.
He's dumb as shit for that though, because realistically, they still had a good stream without even getting the redirect. A bunch of people, bring up the views or whatever. We all saw the views. Said that
no idea.
With some serious apologies, there's a good chance Yo Mama might be back. So,
Fink coming through with the hot dog, bang bang through the gang. If you guys want to give memberships, when we get 25 gifted,
no idea.
With some serious, it'll be something big.
Little sipper.
Yeah, little sippies.
It's been a wild day. Glammy's live.
Hi. I had nothing to fucking do with that.
Don't care.
I said that.
No idea who that was.
Don't care.
I care.
I just wanted to explain
you, I
that I had no idea.
Anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to say?
I get it. I understand. And yeah, so.
Anything else you want to say?
Actually,
Mama,
wait. I actually do give a fuck. I have some questions. So none of this was ran by you whatsoever. You said he told you to wait in live on
Yeah,
there.
it was never run by me, Yo Mama's side of things, because on the show, Yo Mama liked not having me know his side of the show so that I would have a raw reaction of it. So I never knew his side. So he told me to go waiting. He was going to just do the first part on the OBS without being in the Discord. I thought he was just going to talk to the audience. I had no fucking clue that dude was going to be there. I don't even know who that dude is. Clearly he's bad, but I have no idea who he is.
He's just a detractor.
Glammy, I got some questions for you.
Sure.
How's it feel to be the one not being fired on a show?
Awesome, actually. But, but he fucked me over something.
He did. Because you're not going to be able to stay in primetime by yourself.
Probably not.
He fucking fucked you out of primetime too.
Yep. So, it is what it is, but.
Anyways.
You feel like a pit boss?
Yeah, I still run the pit, but whatever. It's cool. It happens.
Do you have any plans for who you might want as a new co-host? I know this is very abrupt, and you might have.
As of right now, I'm just pissed. Honestly, I'm just absolutely pissed.
I'll be pissed too.
It is what it is. So I'm just gonna sit with myself, try to figure out what it is I'm gonna do for the betterment of my show. And fuck you, Yo Mama. Thank you so much.
I actually have one last question. Maui in the chat, this is something I did want to ask. She said, why didn't Glammy go live? Like when the stream went down, why didn't you take over?
Because I was on the phone being completely upset and confused, and I had no idea what was going on, and I was angry. And, you know, like, I don't know. And then there's time periods like the redirect went somewhere. I'm just on the phone trying to figure out what the fuck that happened and who the hell that was and why they were there without my consent of knowing who it was. I thought he was just going to monologue. That's all I thought. I had no idea that was going to happen.
Gotcha. Wow. Okay. I think people just wanted to know what was up from your perspective. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you. All right. Bye.
Poor Glammy. You gotta let
the woman speak sometimes.
I just didn't care to hear her say she didn't know about it. We already knew that. I don't care about that. I want to get to the good stuff.
Yeah, I know, but there was other shit that fucking people did want to ask her. So
yeah, I wanted to ask that. I didn't tell her to leave. So I didn't care about her explaining she didn't know. We got that. Get over it.
The way you're saying it is just like, fuck off. I don't care what you have to say.
She gets big fuck off energy from me.
And this is the design of that dirty.
Flipping water bottles in his suburban bedroom to making millions of dollars before he could even vote. He transformed from a harmless kid with a viral hobby into one of the most infamous and polarizing creators on the internet. But his relentless, insatiable chase for clout, for views at any cost, led him down a dark path, paved with a string of reckless, arrogant, and genuinely dangerous decisions that threatened to burn his entire digital empire to the ground. We're not just talking about controversy, we're talking about high-stakes lawsuits, platform-wide bans from his primary sources of income, the loss of massive six-figure sponsorships, and a brutal public breakup that was broadcast live for the world to see, exposing the ugly, transactional truth lurking behind the glossy influencer fantasy. So how did one of YouTube's most financially successful teenage prodigies become one of its most reviled and cautionary tales? Before the flashy Lamborghinis, the sprawling Miami mansions, and the ever-present entourage of imposing bodyguards, there was a very different Jack Doherty. To truly comprehend the staggering depth of his fall from grace, you first have to understand the innocent heights from which it all began. The year was 2016. The digital landscape for creators was in a state of flux. The 6-second video app, Vine, was in its final days, and its user base was migrating, searching for the next big thing. Into this void stepped a fresh-faced, energetic 13-year-old from Long Island, armed with nothing more than a smartphone and a half-full plastic water bottle. His initial goal was disarmingly simple: to make it land upright. After posting a few tentative warm-up videos, learning the strange physics of the flip, he uploaded the one that would light the fuse on his entire career. A video titled, "I Flipped All of These." In it, he flips everything he could get his hands on. Bottle, toothpaste, even a battery. It was a perfect storm of timing and trend. The bottle flipping craze was an inexplicable, global phenomenon, sweeping through schoolyards and office buildings alike. Jack, with his boyish charm and genuine excitement, became the de facto poster child for the movement. His early content was the epitome of family-friendly, wholesome entertainment. He filmed elaborate trick shots, performed trampoline parkour in his backyard, and created goofy, lighthearted skits with his friends. He was the quintessential relatable kid next door, the kind of person viewers felt they knew, who just happened to strike the YouTube jackpot. The growth was explosive and almost immediate. Within a single year, he was giving interviews, confidently telling reporters that he was already earning a 6-figure income. By the tender age of 15, he was publicly claiming to have become a self-made millionaire. It was the absolute embodiment of the new American dream for Gen Z, a teenager who had masterfully turned a fleeting viral trend into a stable, lucrative career before he could even legally get behind the wheel of a car. He was invited on national television, he collaborated with some of the biggest YouTubers in the world, and he methodically built a loyal, dedicated following of millions of young fans who looked up to him. He had, by all objective measures, achieved the ultimate dream. But trends, by their very nature, are ephemeral. As the bottle flipping craze inevitably died down, Jack was confronted with the single most terrifying question for any trend-based creator. What comes next? How do you maintain momentum when the very thing that made you famous is no longer relevant? He could have searched for another wholesome trend, another positive challenge to conquer. He didn't. Instead, he pivoted hard into a new and dangerous world of pranks, provocation, and public disruption that would sow the seeds of his own spectacular downfall. The transformation was gradual, almost unnoticeable at first, and then it happened all at once. The clean-cut, family-friendly, bottle-flipping kid image started to feel restrictive, small, and, most importantly, less profitable. He had a brief and largely forgettable stint with Jake Paul's infamous influencer incubator Team 10, a content house notorious for its internal drama and for rewarding outrageous behavior with views and notoriety. It seems that during his time there, Jack learned a new, cynical lesson about the modern internet. The algorithm, the mysterious force that governed his career, no longer seemed to want trick shots or innocent fun. It craved conflict, drama, and raw human confrontation. So Jack, ever the savvy creator, adapted his strategy to feed the beast. The innocent challenges of his past were systematically replaced with a new, more abrasive style: public nuisance pranks. His new content formula was brutally simple, yet disturbingly effective. Walk into a public space like a Walmart, a Target, or a quiet library. Be as loud, obnoxious, and disruptive as humanly possible, and then wait for an unsuspecting member of the public to inevitably snap. He would blast deafening air horns in silent study areas, stage loud, fake arguments in crowded checkout lines, or deliberately invade people's personal space, all while the cameras were rolling, patiently waiting for the moment of confrontation that would serve as the video's climax. It was a form of low-grade psychological warfare disguised as comedy, and from a purely analytical standpoint, it worked spectacularly. The angrier the public got, the more views he racked up. The more people screamed at him, the higher his videos trended. Then came a new, defining, and ultimately menacing element of his content: the bodyguards. As his pranks grew more aggressive and the public's reactions became more heated, he began to surround himself with a team of huge professional security guards, most famously a man known as Kane Kong. On paper, their purpose was for his protection. In reality, they became active props and escalators in his videos. Their sheer physical presence transformed the dynamic of every stunt. Suddenly, angry store managers and frustrated shoppers weren't just confronting a cocky, camera-wielding teenager. They were facing a literal wall of muscle. which only served to crank up the tension, heighten the fear, and create even more dramatic. As Jack's fame skyrocketed and his bank account swelled, so too did his ego. The already blurry line between a provocative prank and outright malicious harassment completely evaporated. The bodyguard incidents began to escalate, showing that things were rapidly spiraling out of control. His security team was no longer just a passive, intimidating presence in the background. They were getting physically involved. The most infamous and damning moment of this era occurred at a Halloween party in October 2023. During a live stream on the platform Kick, a verbal spat broke out between Jack and another partygoer, a man named Chase Gardella. In footage that would be endlessly replayed and analyzed, Jack's bodyguard, Kane Kong, was caught on camera viciously punching Gardella in the face, knocking him backward. The immediate reaction from other attendees was one of shock and horror. Fellow influencer Corinna Kopf, who was present at the scene, was filmed screaming at the bodyguard in disbelief. "What is wrong with you?" But Jack's response wasn't one of concern or remorse. It was the cold, calculated response of a content creator who had just struck gold. He immediately clipped the video of the assault, packaged it, and posted it across his social media platforms with the brazenly callous caption, "My security just knocked out a guy live on my Kick." When faced with initial criticism, his excuse was simple and dismissive. Context: they were pressing us. This was not an isolated incident. It was the clearest example of a disturbing and repeating pattern. In February 2024, the consequences became tangible when Chase Gardella filed a formal lawsuit against both Jack Doherty and his bodyguard, citing assault and battery. Gardella's lawyer issued a statement to TMZ, calling the incident a disgusting, unprovoked assault on a young man by a person who is supposed to be a trained professional. The court documents later included even more damning allegations, claiming that Jack and his bodyguard had actively earned money by posting and monetizing the video of the assault itself. Simultaneously, Jack had migrated much of his operation to the less regulated Wild West streaming platform known as Kick. There, freed from the stricter content guidelines of YouTube, his behavior got even more extreme. His streams became a relentless, chaotic feed of public altercations, entitled tirades, and an ever-present sense of impending violence. His behavior grew so notoriously bad that he ended up on an episode of Dr. Phil, where he was confronted with clips of his own worst moments. He sat there smirking and making flippant excuses, appearing to a mainstream audience as nothing more than a spoiled, profoundly disrespectful, and out-of-control kid. Alongside this escalating aggression, he was relentlessly flexing his immense wealth. His content became a gaudy showcase of material excess. It was all McLarens, Lamborghinis, and a waterfront Miami mansion that he rented for a reported $55,000 a month. He constantly bragged about his income and exorbitant spending to his young, impressionable audience, carefully curating an image of untouchable, limitless success. But in reality, he was living on a precarious mountain of enormous expenses, a lifestyle funded entirely by a career that was growing more toxic and unstable by the day. The foundation of his empire was cracking under the strain, and soon it would all come crashing down in the most public and spectacular way possible. Every dramatic downfall has a singular, crystallizing moment, the point of no return where everything changes. For Jack Doherty, that moment arrived with screeching tires and shattering fiberglass on October 5th, 2024, on the slick, rain-soaked asphalt of the Florida Turnpike. He was, as usual, live streaming his life on Kick, positioned behind the wheel of his prized McLaren supercar. The weather was poor. It was raining heavily, and the roads were dangerously slick. And Jack, the man in control of the high-powered vehicle, wasn't paying attention to the road. His own stream provided the damning evidence, capturing him repeatedly looking down at his phone, his eyes darting back and forth as he read messages from his live chat. What happened next was not just tragic, but crushingly predictable. In the video, you can hear the distinct sound of the engine revving as he likely presses the accelerator, and then the car suddenly loses control on the wet surface. The McLaren hydroplaned and slammed violently into a guardrail.
Wow.
The impact utterly destroying the entire front end of the six-figure vehicle. In the chaotic, disorienting seconds immediately following the crash, Jack's first instinct wasn't to check on his own safety or that of his passenger. His cameraman and friend, Michael, was visibly injured, bleeding from a gash on his head. But instead of offering aid or comfort, Jack was pathologically focused on the camera, his voice urgent as he instructed Michael to keep filming the scene, to capture the bloody aftermath for the stream. The internet's reaction was swift and brutal. This wasn't a prank that could be debated. It was a clear-cut case of dangerous, reckless behavior that could have easily killed someone.
Yeah.
Community Notes, a feature on X, formerly Twitter, used to fact-check misleading posts, began appearing on his own posts about the crash, bluntly stating, Jack was using his phone and driving at an excessive speed in rain, which led to him crashing his McLaren. The real-world consequences hit fast and hard. Kick, the very platform that had profited from his chaos, quickly banned him for promoting illegal activity, a serious violation. The Florida Highway Patrol cited him for his reckless driving. And then, the financial bleeding began in earnest. For many brands, his behavior had long been a liability, but the crash was the final, unforgivable straw. No reputable company wanted to be associated with a creator who not only endangered human lives through his negligence, but seemed to instinctively want to monetize the tragedy for content. Reports surfaced in the following months that he had lost several major lucrative sponsorship deals in the direct aftermath of the crash.
Wow.
In the span of just a few seconds of inattention, he had transformed himself from a merely problematic influencer into a total pariah. After a brief unban, demonstrating the platform's initial reluctance to deplatform a top streamer, Kick was forced to ban him again, just a few months later in January 2025, after he live-streamed his involvement in a chaotic street brawl. The McLaren crash had set off a catastrophic chain reaction, and the next pillar of his carefully constructed life to collapse would be his personal one. The spectacular public implosion of Jack's career was matched by an equally dramatic private one. For 2 years, his relationship with fellow influencer McKinley Richardson had been a central pillar of his content. To his millions of followers, they were presented as an aspirational power couple, living a life of luxury and adventure in their Miami mansion. But behind the curated vlogs and smiling thumbnails, a very different and much darker story was playing out. In March 2025, the relationship completely fell apart, not in a private conversation, but live on stream for their entire audience to witness in real time. The police were called to Jack's Miami home to mediate and help McKinley retrieve her personal belongings after a volatile argument. The live stream captured a frantic and seemingly panicked Jack, who yelled into his camera, "This bitch used me for fucking money," for all his viewers to hear. Meanwhile, McKinley could be heard telling the police officers off camera that she was leaving because he had allegedly threatened her. A serious claim that Jack vehemently denied on the stream. The breakup was not just a personal heartbreak. It was an immediate and devastating business disaster. In a moment of unguarded panic, Jack himself admitted on the stream that McKinley had become his main source of revenue, likely referring to the content they created together. He seemed less heartbroken by the loss of his partner and more terrified by the impending collapse of his bottom line. In the weeks and months that followed the split, McKinley began to speak out, providing her side of the story. In podcast interviews and public statements, she described what she characterized as a deeply manipulative and controlling environment. She claimed that Jack had relentlessly pressured her into creating adult-oriented content, despite her initial and repeated hesitation. She alleged that he had framed this demand as a condition for their relationship to continue, effectively creating an ultimatum. She tearfully recalled a specific, chilling conversation where an employee of Jack's allegedly told her, "Jack really wants you to start," and he said that there's no reason for you guys to be together if you're not helping. Her powerful and detailed testimony painted a disturbing picture of a partner who was pathologically obsessed with content and revenue, often at the expense of her own comfort and well-being. This was a devastating blow to his already tarnished reputation. The narrative around him shifted dramatically. He was no longer just an annoying prankster or a reckless driver. In the eyes of many, he was now being labeled as a toxic and manipulative figure. Other prominent streamers and many of his former friends began to publicly distance themselves from him. The vast reservoir of public goodwill that he had so carefully built up as the charming, bottle-flipping kid was completely gone, replaced by a permanent image of a toxic, reckless, and exploitative personality. Jack Dougherty's entire brand, his very identity as a creator, was meticulously built on the appearance of being impossibly rich. The fleet of supercars, the waterfront mansion, the designer clothes, the extravagant trips, it was all part of a carefully constructed image. But it was an image propped up by a constant, torrential flow of cash that was now, for the first time in his career, beginning to dry up, and fast. The loss of his major sponsorship deals following the McLaren crash was a monumental blow. In the high-stakes world of influencer marketing, a creator's reputation is their primary currency. and Jax was now radioactive. At the very same time, getting permanently banned from Kick twice severed his main stage for daily content and cut off a direct, reliable paycheck from subscriptions and donations. His YouTube viewership also reportedly began to dip, as a significant portion of the audience grew weary of the relentless drama and toxicity. Fewer views on YouTube translates directly to less advertising revenue, squeezing yet another of his income streams. All of this was happening while he remained shackled to the expenses of an absolutely insane lifestyle. That reported $55,000 a month rent for his Miami mansion and the hefty monthly payments on a fleet of depreciating supercars don't simply vanish when the income does. With his revenue streams tanking, that massive overhead transformed from a symbol of success into a heavy financial anchor, dragging him down. Now, any claims that he went completely broke are likely an exaggeration. As of 2025, his net worth is still estimated to be somewhere in the range of $2 to $5 million, although some reports on influencer net worth vary widely and are notoriously difficult to verify. While that is still a significant amount of money for anyone, it represents a colossal step down from his peak earnings, and more importantly, may not be enough to sustain his outgoings for long. The days of casually buying new supercars as content props were definitively over. In a stark and humbling reversal of his entire persona, he was seen on his sporadic live streams actively asking his fans for donations, a massive and telling contrast to the untouchable millionaire image he had spent years cultivating. Unproven accusations of his involvement in a cryptocurrency pump and dump scheme also began to swirl online, adding to the sense of financial desperation. He hadn't lost every single dollar, but the glittering empire he so proudly and arrogantly flaunted was visibly crumbling before the public's eyes. The money, once the ultimate symbol of his success, had now become the most potent symbol of his failure. So the story of Jack Doherty is a wild, turbulent ride through the modern landscape of fame, money, and monumental mistakes. His journey raises a lot of difficult but important questions about the nature of internet fame and where personal responsibility fits into the chaotic ecosystem of online content creation. What do you think? Is there any path to redemption for a creator like Jack? Or is the damage to his reputation and career permanent? Can someone who built an entire brand on chaos and public disruption ever truly change their ways? Or is the persona now inseparable from the person? Let us know what you think down in the comments below. At the end of the day, Jack Doherty's story is, above all else, a profound cautionary tale for the digital age. It's a story about a kid who was handed everything he ever wanted: fame, fortune, and influence, and then systematically tore it all down, one bad decision at a time. He started his career as the wholesome embodiment of the YouTube dream, a testament to how passion and timing could change a life overnight. But the very same engine that fueled his meteoric rise, the relentless, desperate chase for views at any and all costs, also became the engine of his own destruction. He made the critical error of confusing getting attention with earning respect and operated under the toxic assumption that any scandal, no matter how damaging, was good for business in the long run. He failed to grasp the fundamental distinction that while online clicks and comments can feel ephemeral and fake, the consequences of his actions in the real world are anything but. A lawsuit isn't a YouTube comment you can delete. A near-fatal car crash isn't a prank you can laugh off later. His downfall wasn't the result of one single mistake. It was a slow burn, fueled by years of unchecked arrogance, a profound disconnect from reality, and an environment that rewarded his worst impulses with fame and money. He meticulously built a kingdom founded on chaos and then had the audacity to act surprised when he was the one who ultimately got burned. And while he still commands an audience of millions of subscribers, his name is no longer synonymous with aspirational success, but with controversy, scandal, and a legacy of self-inflicted wounds. Ultimately, his story serves as a stark and enduring warning to every aspiring creator out there. Fame is temporary, money can disappear in an instant, but once you completely shatter your reputation, it can be lost forever.
I know you're not following what I'm saying anyway, right? That's okay, that doesn't matter. The real question is this: is all this legal? Absolutely fucking not.
Wow. This one is Dr. Really Fondly was on 3 sources by 15 minutes of Sam.
Gentlemen, honestly, I never thought this day would happen, but it has arrived, and Jack Doherty has been arrested for 3 charges. I know it sounds too good to be true, but trust me, you did not accidentally click on an AI slop channel. This is facts, and we'll take a look at the article as well as the arrest video. And for those wondering if Christmas came early, you're damn right it did.
What did he do?
He's running a stake hand. He's doing a gambling thing. He's trying to make a video.
Everything got to be some goddamn content, man. Is that for? Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh my God!
These are all hired police officers, and this is a prank.
Right.
Yes, 100%.
He's running a video.
Right. No way. No, he's just gonna come out of the dome one more time.
So now you might ask yourself, what has he been arrested for? Well, let's find out together. The article from TMZ reads, Jack Doherty, social star, arrested in Miami Beach. And then we have his mugshot. As usual, he is rocking his broccoli haircut, which is a signature for him. You can always recognize him a mile away from that ridiculous haircut. And here it says, famous YouTuber and content creator Jack Doherty has been arrested in the Miami area. TMZ can confirm he was cuffed by Miami Beach police outside a smoke shop and booked into Florida's Turner Guilford Knight Correctional Center just before 9 a.m. on 3 charges: possession of a controlled substance, possession of marijuana, and resisting arrest. Specifically, cops say he was in possession of amphetamine, a medication used to manage ADHD and narcolepsy, and less than 20 grams of weed.
Oh, really?
So here's the thing. We'll take a look at how much time he's facing in just a moment. But Jack Doherty has been exposed by his ex-girlfriend for being a huge abuser of Adderall. Now, Adderall, if it's used as prescribed, it has very legitimate uses. But apparently, Jack Doherty was using it way too much, to the point where he's not even eating and he's just always all cranked up. And the thing is that he probably bought some on the illegal market, because your doctor will only give you so much of it at a time. Now, if he starts using up all his stock very quickly, then he'll run out and he probably has to buy some illegally, which is not allowed. And that's why you can get in huge trouble for that. If he was caught with his prescription with the Adderall in the original container, they would not have arrested him at all whatsoever. But obviously, it's something else that we're dealing with. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment, but let's keep reading. He has a bond set for $3,500, which he has not yet satisfied, and he was
Wow.
streaming on Party hours before his arrest and posted footage from a yacht in Miami. Jack rose to fame in 2017 after his videos showing himself flipping various objects went viral. He has more than 13 million followers between TikTok and Instagram, and 15 million on YouTube. This is a developing story. I love how they cannot even find anything positive about him to say. So they just say, yeah, he was flipping bottles. So let's take a look at crimes and exactly how much time he is facing. All right, so cannabis in Florida is illegal for recreational use. Possession of up to 20 grams is a misdemeanor offense, punishable by up to a year in jail, a fine of up to $1,000, and the suspension of one's driver's license. Several cities and counties have enacted reforms to apply lesser penalties, however. Now, I personally don't agree with the war on weed. Where I live in Canada, it's 100% legal to buy as much weed as you want. And I think that's how it should be in the States, but I don't make the laws. And even though I don't agree with it, he is definitely facing some time for that specific charge. But that is still the lesser of the 3 charges. So in Florida, penalties for resisting arrest may vary based on whether violence is involved. Resisting without violence is a misdemeanor that can result in up to a year in jail, and resisting with violence is a felony. So most likely he got charged with a misdemeanor. I don't see Jack Doherty as the kind of guy that would fight cops with his fists. Maybe he tussled a little bit. And here's the thing, resisting arrest is a charge that cops are very, very willing to give suspects. So it happens quite a bit. And those are the charges that sometimes get dropped in a plea deal, or maybe there's not enough evidence, because I cover a lot of body cams. And let me just say that those charges get dropped pretty often. But for the sake of Jack Doherty, I sure hope it doesn't happen. Now, before we talk about the most serious charge, I want to talk to you guys about the body cam situation, because Florida is extremely quick at releasing body cam. And I know that at this particular moment, right now, at 12:03 on Saturday, there are probably a huge line of people at the Miami Police Department getting ready to FOIA request this footage. So I'm telling you, this body cam is going to be out probably within a couple weeks at the most. Florida is very, very quick. And when that body cam comes out, it's going to be glorious. I can't wait to react to that. It's going to be fantastic. But let's take a look at the final charge. All right, so now let's talk about the Adderall, because Adderall is a Schedule II drug. Possession of it will result in a third-degree felony. Even trace amounts of Adderall will result in a third-degree felony charge. The maximum punishment a person may receive for possessing Adderall includes up to 5 years in prison, which is some serious time. I don't think Jack Doherty would last 5 years in prison, let alone 5 months. And like I said earlier, if you have a prescription, then no problem. If you don't, it's a massive problem, especially in Florida.
Really?
Honestly, this is a long time coming. It was about time that Jack Doherty got arrested. His downfall has been pretty bad lately. His girls are dropping him. They're hiring lawyers. And now he has problems with the law. And trust me, I will keep covering this story. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because we are missing 350 subscribers for 100K. Wouldn't it be extremely ironic if I hit 100,000 subscribers the day that Jack Doherty gets arrested? That would be hilarious. Anyways, I'm going to leave you here, but just for good measure, take a look at the arrest one more time, and just take a look at the smug look on his face.
What did he do? He was running a stake hand. He's doing a gambling thing.
He's trying to make a video. Everything got to be some goddamn content, man. Is that for? Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh my God!
These are all hired police officers, and this is the crime.
Right.
Yes, 100%.
He's running a video.
Actually,
Right.
So,
No way.
Yeah, no.
he's gonna come out of the dome one more time.
Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Wow. Let me see. This one is, let me see. By Cam Neckes. It's actually finally that I was in. So
the dumbest content creator in the world, Jack Doherty, just got arrested, and it was pretty hilarious.
What did he do? He's running a stake hand. He's doing a gambling thing. He's trying to make a video.
Everything gotta be some goddamn content, man. Is that for? Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh my God.
These are all hired police officers, and this is a prank.
Right.
Right? Yes, 100%.
He's running a video.
I tell you
Right.
So,
No way.
no, he's gonna come out of the dome one more time.
Now, in the video, you can hear plenty of people saying, like, oh, it's all content. It's just a break. Anything. He hired all these cops. And really, I don't blame them because, again, it is Jack Doherty. This guy will do anything, and I literally mean anything, for a lick of clout, for a lick of attention or fame. But apparently, according to TMZ, this is real. Jack Doherty, social star, arrested in Miami Beach. And this was literally from today at 7:43 a.m. Here's his mugshot from the Turner Guilford. Famous YouTuber and content creator Jack Doherty has been arrested in the Miami area, TMZ can confirm. He was cuffed by Miami Beach police outside a smoke shop and booked into Florida Turner Guilford Night Correctional Center just before 9 a.m. on 3 charges: possession of a controlled substance, possession of marijuana, and resisting arrest. And yeah, there was the clip we just watched. Specifically, cops say he was in possession of amphetamine, a medication used to manage ADHD and narcolepsy, and less than 20 grams of that Gucci, you know. Here he is again, clown shoes himself. He has a bond set for $3,500, which has not been yet satisfied. And he was streaming on Party hours before his arrest and posted footage from a yacht in Miami. There he is again, clown shoes himself, sitting on a car. Now, I've heard a lot about this Party app. Is this like Kick, but like 10 times worse? Like, are people genuinely on that website to like use it and enjoy it, or is it only like for the deplorables, right? Like, apparently, World of T-shirts, Josh Block, that put the fries in the bag guy, is always crashing out on that Party app.
Josh, why fries in the bag? Joshua. Who said that? Bus driver.
Josh, stop. The bus driver. He's on campus. Josh, stop. We gotta.
I want an apology.
Josh, he's not gonna give you an apology.
Apologize!
Josh, stop. Oh, stop. Don't bite me, dude. Stop. Josh, stop.
Apologize!
You're gonna break my fucking.
Josh, what are you doing in the luxury neighborhood?
Oh, Josh.
Out of the way.
No, stop, Josh.
Josh, why would you say that to me?
Get off here, man. Get off. Josh.
Yeah, okay.
What are you doing?
Why'd you say that to me? Why'd you say that to me? You said put the fries in the bag.
But yeah, I guess now we get to watch Jack Doherty's drug-filled shenanigans that lead to him being arrested also be viewed and enjoyed on parties. So if that's your cup of tea, guys, there it is. There's the site for you.
What? No.
I got it.
Hey, yo, you don't want to go neither. Back up. I'm just saying I got it. Back up. Don't worry about it. Back up. Go. Back up. Go.
Now, here's another angle of the arrest that's going around again on TikTok. And you can see that his bodyguard, the big dude, is once again, as always, trying to intervene, trying to be the hero, trying to save the day because, you know, Jack Doherty pays this big guy to defend him, to be his backbone because Jack doesn't really have one. But in the case of an arrest, in the case of literal officers arresting you, your big guy that you pay millions of dollars to is not going to be able to save you, Mr. Jack. It's game over. You're going to the slammer this time.
Chill. Go to the sidewalk now. Go to the sidewalk now. You want to go with him? You want to be fucking funny. Go to the sidewalk now. You want to be funny? You say to get on the street, go on the fucking street. I know who the fuck you think you are, bro. No, you're fucking not. He was trying after I fucking do this. Who the fuck are you, bro? I was trying to walk up the street. Doesn't matter, bro. All you had to do was get in the fucking sidewalk. That's it.
Right. So we don't really know a lot about what's happening or like why this exactly happened. But based on what the cops are saying, I'm assuming he was filming content of some sort or filming some type of ad, filming something where he was basically being a public nuisance or a nuisance, which is his job. That's him. Right. You see that face and you know there's some shenanigans going on. And I guess him being in the street, blocking the road was enough for him to get a charge of some sort of public disturbance, disturbing the peace. And I say, F him. He deserved it.
You want to be fucking funny? That's it, bro.
Free JD. Free JD. You're great.
Just trying to make a video. Everything got to be some goddamn content, man.
Now, again, I really want to focus on the idea of like Jack Doherty himself, right? Like if you search his name up, he's not a great guy. The Island Boys got us banned from Walmart. This guy has a Target shirt on, so he's kind of a doofus. Pat God versus Jack Doherty. If Jack Doherty and McKinley Richardson body cam, Jack Doherty crashes $200,000 McLaren. Again, this guy also dates OF girls, and apparently there are some allegations that this guy has like some type of OF ring on the low, right, where he like brings in women to essentially pimp them out, right? OF style, right? OF style, no actual physical contact.
I noticed that you manage girls. Is that true or no?
Yeah.
And managing in their OnlyFans?
Yeah. And like kind of all around too. But like, yeah, I mean, I help like blow them all up on social media and they make money on OnlyFans and honestly all platforms.
Does that kind of like, does that field kind of like interfere with your heart a little bit?
That's really what takes a lot of like, I feel like the most space up in my head is just like because there's so many people that like depend on me and so many people I have to keep up with on a day-to-day and, you know, keep happy and stuff. It's a lot of pressure. That's really where it's at. It's like my mood is so heavily relying on all the people around me that I'm trying to constantly keep happy that it like sometimes makes me like
I just feel like it's a grimy world, bro. Like I'm assuming these girls are selling nudes.
Yeah.
I mean, like in no disrespect, this is a version of pimping. You're pimping these girls out. You don't think that's attacking your heart in any way?
No, because at the end of the day, they all, you know, they already like want to do what they're doing. And it's just like, I just actually make the money doing it. Cause there are so many girls that actually do OnlyFans and make, you know, $0 and stuff. And they're doing it all for what, you know?
But still pretty interesting stuff going on. Personally, I think it's all time we light one up, smoking that Doherty pack. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think of the Jack Doherty. I hope I'm saying that name right. Am I Doherty? I don't know. We're smoking his pack, and I want to know what you guys think of the situation down below. Personally, I don't think he's going to be arrested for very long. $3,500 is not a lot of money. This guy probably makes like millions a year, unfortunately. As much as I hate to say it, as much as I hate to admit it and think he doesn't deserve it, he's got a lot of money. He's got a lot of connections. And I feel like, of course, he's just going to get a slap on the wrist. They're going to be like, don't do that anymore, douche. It's more like to send a message. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.
Wow.
Here we go again. It's the same old thing. Boogie is lying while King is trying to talk the wins. They be bullshitting, spitting Lolcow slangs. Scam Tommy and kick them out. You know, keep running this gang. We're live on YouTube, ain't no pre-recorded games. Fuck around you like it's one in your brain. Hey, Lolcow, Nick. But it's the Lolcow. You be watching it, you click it just now. Lolcow, Nick. But it's the Lolcow. You be watching it, you click it just now. Boogie got his nipples tippled from a hippie twiggy who was pretty but shitty. Took little Stevie, and 50 years later, we all paying the price. But Wings had things that only kings could dream of this history. He leaked to the show and we all paid for it twice. And if page 5 stays high up in Wings' mind like the bird shit in our eyes, then tries we might, we still pay the price. Lolcow, Nick, but it's the Lolcow. You be watching it, you click it just now. Lolcow, Nick, but it's the Lolcow. You be watching it, you Lolcow, Nick, but it's the Lolcow. You be watching it, you click it just now. Lolcow, Nick, but it's the Lolcow. You be watching it, you click it just now. Now King's theme is the Scream Team, but mean stream to his team and later come clean that it was all a dream and he owns everything and the Iron Team was him.
Yep.
And the Stream Team's keen to be the mean king and the mean queen is Boogie's lean tween who leaves keys so she can leave, please rescue the kid. Lolcow, Nick. It's the Lolcow. You be watching it, you click it just now. Lolcow, Nick. But it's the Lolcow. You be watching it, you click it just now. Lolcow, Nick. But it's the Lolcow. You be watching it, you clicked it just now. Lolcow, Nick. But it's the Lolcow. You be watching it, you clicked it just now. It's time for the Lolcow Queens. Let's go. Lolcow Queens, we don't back down. Crown on fire, we run this town. Roach Gang rise, Cougar Crew clean. Michael's the boss, we the ruling machine. One leg off fight, no cap, no fake. Tina D riding, make the kingdom shake. Roach Gang rolling, Leroy rise. Bossed up queen, got them all terrified. Lolcow Queens, we don't back down. We run the town. Roach Gang rise, Cougar Crew clean. Michael's the boss, we the ruling machine. Texas heat, claws out, let's brawl. Gidgy is Cougar Queen, standing 10 feet tall. Spill that tea, I bring that smoke. Say my name and you better get talk. Michael's throne, punishments drop. In your face, and the cringe don't stop. He calls the shots, he play the game. Lolcow ruled with royal flame. Lolcow Queen, we don't back down. Crown on fire, we run the town. Trailer Park Heat, Southern Steel, loyal to the throne. Lolcow real. Queens, let's go. Lolcow Queens, we don't back down. Crown all we run this town. Roach gang rise, Cougar crew clean. Michael's the boss, we the ruling machine. One leg off fight, no cap, no fake. Tina D riding, make the kingdom shake. Roach gang rolling, Leroy rise. Bossed up queen, got them all terrified. Lolcow Queen, we don't back down. Crown all we want this town. Michael's the boss, we the ruling machine. Texas heat, claws out, let's brawl. Gidgy is Cougar Queen, standing 10 feet tall. Spill that tea, I bring that smoke. Say my name and you body talk. Michael's throne, punishment drop. Eye in the face, the queen goes up. He calls the sauce, play the game. Lolcow rule with royal flame. Lolcow Queen, we don't back down. All we want is on. Trailer park heat, Southern steel, loyal to the throne. Lolcow real. Tina slay the Razorback. Where's she here? Gidgy rules the South. Michael runs the punishment. We are the boom. Lolcow Queens. Let's go.
Yeah. Down in the south where the tea runs deep, Tina's got one leg, savage sails the seas. Used to throw shade like it's going out of style. Now they riding high, making crowds go wild. One's got a peg, the other's got sex. Spinning that drama with a shot of class. Two queens of chaos, they're a sight to see. Frenemies forever on your TV. They clash, they laugh, they run the scene. Tina and Savage, the Lolcow Queens. Lolcow Queens, turn up the lights. Serving up chaos every Friday night. From one-legged spins to pirate schemes. Don't miss the show, it's a southern dream. Yeah, Lolcow Queens, they're the hype machine. Tina rolls in with a sparkly crutch. Savage swaggers up that pirate touch. Used to fight like cats in a hurricane. Now they cashing checks, driving fans insane. Gossip in their pockets, fire in their eyes. Fuse on the mic, but you know it's all vibes. They're breaking all the rules, flipping the game. Two southern bells with unstoppable flame.
Yeah.
Lolcow Queens, turn up the lights. Serving up chaos every Friday night. From one-legged spins to pirate schemes. Don't miss the show, it's a southern dream. Yeah, Lolcow Queens, they're the hype machine.
Machine. I like to, yeah. So I'm going to in the stream here. So drop a like if you like, and comment below if you want to see more stream like this. And the redirect is in. You go into local cast. So yeah. So go and check them out. And Denmark, see what's up. Yep. Told him see what's up. So I'm going to in Zoom here. See you all in the next one. Bye.